So this is the flight over to Brisbane. It was about 90 minutes, I think, from Sydney. That's the Gold Coast there. It's a very pretty flight over because you get to see a lot of the ocean and the Gold Coast and all that stuff. This is the trip into the city, so we're in the city now. And I decided that I needed to get to a beach, basically, because I hadn't been to a beach in a while, and also it was like a huge catalyst for the trip going to Brisbane was just that it was like so freezing in Sydney for a while, like getting peaks of like 14 to 16 degrees Celsius for like far too long. And in Brisbane it was like 21. So I needed to get myself to a beach. And after much ado, I have found the beach. It was about an hour and a half's trip to get here, and on the map it didn't look like it was going to take that long, but then it turned out that like trains and buses take about 20 minutes between each other. And yeah, but it's a pretty nice beach, better than I've been told beaches in Brisbane are. So the trip in consisted of a train and a bus, and the thing is with Brisbane transport is that there was just like a huge amount of time, like even between trains it was like 20 minutes between trains. I don't know if that's the case for every single train service in Brisbane, but it was like a surprisingly long wait between trains, and then the buses too were like, I guess like kind of a normal bus schedule of like 20 minutes apart. At least 15 minutes. But the wonderful thing about Brisbane is that the transport there is actually 50 cents per trip. And so I tapped on, I think, once each day, and I think like the max it would charge me was like $2.50 for the whole day of transport. And I did get my ticket checked, and I was scared because I was because I hadn't tapped on again, and I thought like I'd get in trouble, but no, they just checked it and they were like, oh cool. So yeah, great place to travel to if you are a public transport person but you are happy to wait 20 minutes for a train. Yeah, and it's a very pretty beach, very relaxed area. I think that this area isn't well known potentially. Like I really had to search on the Googles for a while to find a good beach in Brisbane or on the outskirts of Brisbane. Yeah, and then my trip home consisted of an Uber back because I waited 20 minutes for a bus that didn't show, and then so I got an Uber, and then I got a train all the way back in. And it seriously was, I think, like an hour and a half each trip, so got a plan for it.
Cut my hair into a bowl after you told me that you liked it like that. Wish I didn't care at all, but now I'm in the mirror with scissors in hand.
So I was going to get a bus back, but now I've found out that the bus doesn't come for 24 minutes. So I've just gone across the road back to the beach, and I'm just enjoying this little white chair roof thing, which looks really cool. And yeah, I'm having my Euro summer right here in Brisbane.
Alone, but babe, a house don't mean a home like before. No. Got a place back in Australia. It's different than you remember.
The Uber back to this train that I'm on now was really interesting and quite fun. My Uber driver immigrated from Kazakhstan. I've never met anyone from Kazakhstan before, and so like I always love to chat to Uber drivers because they always seem to be from like or often seem to be from like very interesting places that I've never been to. And for her, she was from Kazakhstan, so I asked her a lot about her experiences under Soviet socialism, and she had like some pretty fair takes basically on like how expensive it is to live and to afford housing and that sort of thing in Australia, in a capitalist country, versus how basically housing was just provided, at least for her positionality in Kazakhstan. Yeah, so that was very interesting. So this here is the trip from Brisbane down to Byron Bay. So I've never been to either of these cities. I haven't been to Brisbane, I haven't been to Byron Bay. So this is my first time traveling to either. And wow, I really like Byron Bay. It's such a vibe. It's located basically, I can't remember exactly the distance, but you get a bus. The bus was like $20 or $25 and it's like $50 return. And you go from Brisbane down to Byron Bay and it's like, I think a 3-hour trip the whole length of the way. But at some point you actually cross the state border, and that's basically at the Gold Coast airport. I went to the Gold Coast later. Like I went to the Gold Coast actually I think about 2 months after this, and it was fantastic. I didn't film anything because I just had so much other work to do while I was there, but the actual trip was fantastic, and driving through the Gold Coast was actually like, it gives you, I'd say, enough of a taste of the Gold Coast if you wanted to just skip actually staying there, because you get to see like the whole, like all the palm trees and all that sort of stuff. It sort of gives me, and it really embraces this Florida vibes. I've never been to Florida, but I'd imagine it's not too different to the Gold Coast. Also, parts of it remind me of like the Dubai kind of planning that you see like out by the water and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, very cool trip and very much needed. I actually took this trip during the middle of semester. Like I just like took a random week off. I went on this trip and it was so worth it. It actually turned out that I knew someone from uni that was down at the Gold Coast at the same time. We didn't actually meet up, but that's just like a funny, interesting fact. That tree was a bottle brush. They're natives, I believe. Like in bushfires, they'll burn down, but then all the like seeds from the bottle brushes will like sprout new bottle brushes. They're very pretty trees. So yeah, I went for an acai bowl and then I just kind of sat by the beach and then walked along the whole beach. And that was the whole trip. It was like I came down, took 3 hours, stayed I think 2 to 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, and then went back up to Brisbane for 3 hours, and it was very worth it.
Of the party bus on 10th Street kinda confused me. Both a couple drinks in too deep. It was bound to happen, I suppose, but fuck me now, I really know. Yeah, I know. I still got it bad. I still got it bad. 'Cause you've got what you have, and I still want it. Yeah, I still want it bad. What we had, and now I want it. Now I want it back, 'cause you still got it.
I forget just how giant my state is. Like, New South Wales just contains so many of these things. I'm not being sponsored by New South Wales' tourism board, but um, yeah, like I don't know, like it's crazy just how giant this state is and just how many places you can go to visit just right here where I am. So yeah.
You my baby, and you know it, right? Yeah, I just remember what you said. I'm your man, babe, I'm your man. You know I try to give you everything I can.
I was also going through a bit of FOMO at the time that I booked and went on this trip because, and I think I'm going to get better at it, like the more times, the more years that go by, basically. But like every summer, a whole bunch of people that I know or I know on Instagram go to Europe and have their Euro summers and all that sort of stuff. And basically, like, I was definitely going through and still am going through a time where I just like it would be impossible to afford to go on a Euro summer. I still haven't been to Europe. And so definitely part of this trip was me trying to like treat myself and have something Instagram worthy that was still very much like less than like $600 to do. So yeah.
Worries come dressed as night to plunder dreams and whispered out so the scattered light reflects your mind, splinters facts from fictions. It's dark outside, it's cold in here, there's nothing left but all your fears. You're falling like the moon falls in the sky. There's nowhere to land anyway.
Favorite things when I go to new cities is like just going to a high point and looking down at it.
See a lot of people there too.
Oh, okay.
Keep looking. Should come early morning when the sun's come out.
So this was all filmed on my last day in Brisbane. It was a great trip and I was sad to be going. I was really happy to get to see the view of Brisbane in those last clips, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular. At this point I was gearing up to go back to what was a friggin' freezing Sydney. And just crazy, like we're not used to the kind of weather we were having at this time. But yeah, heading back to it, and I shall see you in my next video.
Pushing past the limit, tripping on hallucinations.
My cigarette burnt my finger 'cause I forgot I lit it. Ripping with my sinners 'cause fuck it, man, I ain't no beginner. And then I crawled back to the life that I said I wouldn't live in.
'Cause I just couldn't open up, I'm always shifting.
Go find Find yourself a man who's strong and tall and Christian.
Pushing past the limit, tripping on hallucinogenic. My cigarette burned my finger 'cause I forgot I lit it. Drunken in Seattle, 2 months dancing without a paddle.